Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Peter Abraham. I'm a registered nurse with extensive experience in hospice and also a book author for books relating to hospice topics such as educating and training and enhancing the abilities of my fellow hospice nurses, helping families and caregivers as well as holistic nurses like myself that look at the whole mind, body, spirit approach. If you're new to this channel, welcome. Thank you for taking the time to visit. This channel, we talk about things related to healthcare, more on the chronic illness that lead to terminal illness side. We have had discussions on anticipatory grief and grieving. Since I am a author, I've had episodes on book writing and overviews of either previous books or books in process, as well as looking at discussions on helping my fellow hospice nurse. Here's on how to establish a baseline. Here's on gathering data, like with the research jot for taking notes during a visit. And so if you like these type of videos, and granted occasional gardening videos like I did the other day, uh, like, comment, subscribe. Always feel free to comment. This is a non-judgmental channel. I appreciate the input from all my subscribers and those passing by, whether they subscribe or not. So today's episode will be uh, about gratitude, but before I go into gratitude areas, which I do incorporate in all my videos, I do want to ask the hospice nurses who are visiting this channel, if you don't mind. I know you're very busy. If you don't mind, whether it be a comment or message me on Facebook or LinkedIn or however you see fit, that works. At least that I get your message. I don't do telepathy. I am currently working on putting together curriculum to do a course for hospice nurses dealing predominantly with documentation, HOPE, the HOPE tool. Oh my word, I should have this pre-organized. I'm going to be getting into these discussions, but hope in practice, oh my word, getting my hands crossed. Hope in practice, implementing hope, hope in action, actually out in the field with it. And so I'm looking at doing that, but I'm also putting together some PDF templates, both in Canva. I already have them in Word. And I'm just wondering to what degree you, my fellow hospice nurses, would be interested in PDF templates for visit sheets, for checklists, for different to-do items, reminders out there in the field. I still have my very beat up from nursing school where I would have, and I would take this out to my visits, and this is one per patient. This is an example of one of the brain sheets. I actually went through this lightly on one of the former episodes, at least the electronic form. This is the paper form, obviously. And then there's stuff like this, that you could incorporate as well. So I just would like to know, what is your interest in, would you be interested in PDF, both Canva that you can go in and edit, Word that you can go in and edit? Would you be interested in that? And then what's your interested in terms of courses to enhance what you do out there in the field? Please comment below. Thank you for that. Now, in terms of every episode, I try to encourage, what are you grateful for? And while I do want to get into the main topic of my grateful items, which is just the feedback I've been getting from my fellow hospice nurses, including the hospice medical director, I do want to focus on the Wednesday through Friday of this week. As you've been noticing, I've been trying to publish Wednesdays, Fridays. Some weeks are Sunday or Monday plus Wednesday, Friday. And while this has been a rather difficult week from the perspective that the area that we live in, Kentucky, has been having massive storms and massive flooding. So please keep a lot of the areas in prayer. There are families that are without power. There are people who have not been able to go to work. It is that bad for flooding. I went out for my coffee this morning. I go out just every Friday to get together with fellow Christian men just so we can encourage one another. It's not a Bible study, it's just to get together and encourage. So today I got to talk with Jacob and Ted. It was light today, maybe because of the rain, but coming back from the coffee shop to home, I told my wife that one of the roads that she takes to go to work, she works part time at one of the roads looks like it might be closed after I got through. I did get through, but it looks like they were going to be closing it just to the amount of flooding. So she did take an alternate route. But we've been dealing with a lot of that flooding, and what that dealt with is lack of sleep because our two rescue dogs that are sleeping now, we did not get much sleep for the past several days. But I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful to be here sharing with you. So I encourage you, as you're going through your day, you might be going through an unbelievably hard time that I can't even imagine what you're going through. And I'm not that I caused it, but I'm sorry that you're going through, but you're alive. Find things to be grateful for. So I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the books that have been selling. I'm grateful for Ted and Jacob who came to breakfast. Uh, Ted gave his testimony on how he was saved. I'm so grateful for his sharing that. Not today. He shared that on a previous Friday's men's group in the evening. But Jacob, a fellow geeky nerd, Mensna level intelligence far beyond my wow. I thought I had a high IQ, but not that we did an IQ test, but Jacob, um, wow, I am so impressed and grateful. But I also want to share very briefly who I'm grateful for and why this week. So yesterday I had an opportunity to have a short, I think it was maybe 30, 45 minute chat with Nina Hart. Nina has a hospice consulting business. She helps hospice agencies who have been surveyed or coming up on survey, and they're very concerned on that they're going to get ADRs or I believe I'm going to use the initial correctly, TPEs. And so she helps agencies respond to those ADRs, and her and another nurse are together in a team that helps educate consultants and hospice agency. How do you respond to these ADRs so that you can keep most of the money, if not all of it, if you're challenged on your cases? So Nina and I had a good conversation on what she does for a living, what I've been doing on the book writing. She's interested in learning on, like, I don't know how to word this. She wants to write a book, but she's looking at topics, and I'm like trying to encourage her, like, you already have the topics. It's on teaching your fellow hospice colleagues how to do ADRs outside of the seminars. And I think she might be anywhere from 20 to 30% there just because of the material she has for the ADR workshops. And here's how I come up with book names. But also, she was encouraging me in terms of, you know what, you should really be referring to yourself as a hospice clinical documentation specialist, because that's where I have not only my heart, but that's where I have most of my experience. So thank you very much, Nina, for that. I also want to thank the people who have been not only buying my books, but leaving reviews on Amazon or reviews on Facebook. One of the things that I as a book author, I should know what I'm about to say, because um, you'll hear bad news sooner than you hear good news from other people. Like if somebody's mad at you or they don't like what you're doing, you're more likely to hear that than somebody who's grateful for what you're doing. So that's part of why I'm doing this episode, is for the people who have taken the time to let me know that they're grateful. You stand out. You stand out because you are far and in between uh, those who, I don't know how to word things. That's where I struggle as an INFJ, Myers-Briggs INFJ, there has to be a better way to say this. So, Amy C., who wrote a review on this book, and I'm going to be on the comments on the description below. I'll include the actual review text, but in the thumbnail graphic, I copied and pasted the different review. But like, gee, this is a must buy, and so thank you so much for Amy for saying that. We have, and I may be mispronouncing some names, but no, Nelby Fabro, um, DJ Beatty. I apologize, and BJ and I are friends on Facebook. We just haven't had the chance. Journey Paul, I have really said, this is a wonderful book for hospice eligibility. I have 11, 5 stars, 11 global reviews, but only 2 people commenting in terms of verified purchases. And then Journey Paul is a Facebook. So thank you so much on that. This is the very first book I wrote. I didn't know if I would sell one or how many, but it's literally my #1 bestseller of all the books I've written to date. And every month, several hundred, I don't know if I should say several hundred, because 143, like out of the 540 some last month that sold. So I do appreciate that. Um, we have Dr. Andy, and I'll kill his last Arwari. I actually have his quote on what he thought of this book on the back cover, along with MKB and Christina Kelly. So thank you so much for posting about the eligibility book. And in terms of I'm just so grateful for all of you who have been buying and reading my books, as well as Tanya Frazier, who came out and said, "Hey, why don't you write a book on uh, breathing in hospice, in terms of, like, do they really need oxygen?" And so that came, that book, and then I have one for my caregivers. So this is a very short video. I don't want to go on too many rabbit trails that I'm guilty of doing. Where I do want to end with is 2 pieces of advice. One comes from a YouTube video that I watched. Actually, they call themselves the Christian Book Doula, and I know Christians depart, and I know doula is the end. Book, it might be book author doula, but Christian book doula, I believe I have that correct. And they said something that really strung together what my wife has been encouraging me. Many of you who've been watching these videos know that one of the struggles I've been facing, and literally to the point of literal tears flowing down my face, is my wife and I moved to Kentucky late last year. She actually thought I'd be the first one to get part-time employment being a registered nurse. December 13th, I got my Kentucky my registered nursing license endorsed by the state of Kentucky, and multi-licensed to that. And but the places in Kentucky that are hiring are full-time, mostly 12-hour shifts, but even part-time is a 12-hour shift. And for those of you who work 12 hours, God bless you. I admire you. But having been there from Harrisburg Hospital, and even having 12-hour days in hospice when I've been on call, I don't want to burn out any more than I have. I give everything I have when I'm out there seeing my patients and working with families and caregivers. I want to continue giving everything that I have. I don't want to burn out again. So I have made a boundary. Hopefully I don't, hopefully one video down the road, Peter, you gave in your boundary. I'm hoping I don't. I made a boundary that my cutoff is 10 hours would be max. So I've been struggling. I've not been able to get a job. So before I turn that into a long venting schedule, my Laura's been saying, God has called you to be a book author. You're writing all these books for hospice nurses. They're selling you're a book author. God called you for that. Accept it. And so this Christian book doula was having in trying to encourage, if you're even if you haven't written a single book, but you got that calling, you are called to be that. So I'm slowly coming to terms, and I shared that with Jacob today. I'm really praying and battling. What do I do? What do I do? I'm almost caving in for some full-time job applications. What do I do? So my encouragement to you, and this goes to you, Nina, even though you already are working, you feel called to write a book. This leads into part 2. Write a book. Writer's block is common. Just because you're not writing every day doesn't mean that you're not a book author. I told Nina yesterday when I'm taking a pause for my clinical pharmacology book because I really want to deep dive into these case studies and scenarios. And I need to work through those issues here before I put it onto paper or type. But start writing. Nina was like, I don't know what to call it. Write. And as you're writing, that inspiration will come to you. That inspiration will come to you. Write a little bit each day. Even if you take breaks from the main topic, I told Nina yesterday, our interview was at 11. Laura and I have been barely getting any sleep. The alarm goes off at 7:25. I'm up. I'm like 3 cups of coffee, and I feel like I'm blurbering. And but I wanted to get something productive done, so I looked. I had this article I wanted to write on the magic mushrooms that are not magic. We're talking about the cycloblin. I might be mispronouncing that, but it has applications in dementia and with cancer and terminal diagnosis. So for Compassion Crossing, I figured I can kick this out between 8 o'clock. By the time the coffee sinks in, 11 o'clock, I can kick this article out and not publish it. I have it in my pending bucket in WordPress. But I was able to get that done. So even if you get like a couple words, a paragraph, a sentence, you are writing and you can work through that. And if you have help, I don't mind. Like I was helping Tyler. Tyler's one of my Harrisburg Community College friends from Lancaster community, that branch. I was, texting him on, I shouldn't say text, Facebook messaging. Here's the trim size. Amazon really lays out. Here's how you size your book. The trim size formatting. I don't mind helping, and that's something that right now I'm not charging anybody for. You need help, comment down below. I'm going to try to help you as best I can. Anyway, coming to the end, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Please think of what you're grateful for. Thank you for buying reading. Hospice nurses, comment below. Brain sheets. Were you interested in brain sheets, checklists? Comment. You interested in courses? Comment. Thank you. God bless. And bye.